bone chilling. That's what it is out there. Today is Wednesday, August 27th, 2025. August. Born on this date in 1949, longtime guitarist, fiddler, and keyboardist for the country music band Alabama, the late Jeff Cook of Fort Payne. He passed away almost 3 years ago. This, by the way, this podcast is a safe space for anybody who doesn't care about Travis Kelce's love life. Let's talk about some election stuff, a new trial thanks to DNA, Cracker Barrel, and more. I'm Mike Morgan, and we're down in Alabama.
Time is precious, and so are our pets. So time with our pets is extra precious. That's why we started Dutch. Dutch provides 24/7 access to licensed vets with unlimited virtual visits and follow-ups for up to 5 pets. You can message a vet at any time and schedule a video visit the same day. Our vets can even prescribe medication for many ailments, and shipping is always free. With Dutch, you'll get more time with your pets and year-round peace of mind when it comes to their vet care.
Hello, fellow Alabamians. I used to love picking up that newspaper in the morning with a cup of coffee. Now we're living in a world of text alerts, emails, and social media shares. Well, if you miss sitting down with that in-depth local reporting, there's no need to miss it anymore. Just subscribe to the Huntsville Times, Birmingham News, or Mobile Press Register digital editions. You'll get a new daily digital edition in an email link, or you can use an app to download the digital edition each day to your smartphone or tablet. You'll also get access to all AL.com stories, plus subscriber-exclusive newsletters and Kevin Skarbinski's take on sports. Down in Alabama listeners, get your first month free by going to AL.com/digital subscription/exclusive and entering the promo code DIAPOD. Down in Alabama Pod, you get that. It's just $15 a month after that. You keep getting in-depth daily news, and you'll support the reporting that keeps Alabama informed. Thank y'all so much. Now more podcast. For those who were closely following some of the municipal campaigns in recent weeks, and judging by Tuesday's election turnouts, you probably weren't. Here are a few noteworthy items. Unofficial results in Birmingham have Randall Woodfin winning a third term as mayor with a pretty convincing victory over Jefferson County Commissioner LaShonda Scales and State Representative Wandalyn Gavon. Mobile's race to replace Mayor Sandy Stimpson had a loaded field, and very few onlookers knew what to expect. State Representative Barbara Drummond and former Mobile County District Judge Spiro Chirigotis are headed to a September 23 runoff. Mountain Brook will have its first woman mayor, as Graham Smith ran unopposed for that office. Tarrant, the Jefferson County town with the off-kilter politics, even by Jefferson County standards, gets to enjoy a runoff for mayor. Incumbent Wayman Newton will face Councilwoman Tracy Threadford for that one. A few months back, we had reporter Joseph D. Bryan on this show to break all the stuff down that was going on in Tarrant, and we've revisited it many times. Search the AL.com YouTube page for various wild exchanges from city meetings there. Now, Hoover Mayor Frank Braccato has been in that office since 2016, but lost yesterday to Police Chief Nick Derzis, who's been on the force since 1979 and chief since 2005. Check out al.com/politics for more election and political coverage. An Alabama inmate of 3 decades will get a new trial thanks to DNA evidence, reports AL.com's Ivana Rinkiu. Now, you might remember we had Ivana on this show earlier this year and featured this case. A jury convicted Christopher Barber in the 1992 murder and rape of Thelma Roberts in Montgomery. Now, at first, Barber, who was homeless, confessed to the killing, but he quickly tried to back down from the confession and claimed that he had been beaten by Montgomery police. Then 2 years ago, new testing showed that DNA evidence left on Roberts was not from Barber. or two others who had also been implicated along with him in the case. The DNA actually was from Jerry Tyrone Jackson, a teenage neighbor of Roberts, who's now doing time for killing another woman. Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall didn't find the new evidence persuasive. He maintained that Barber, the victim, must have had sex with the teen neighbor before being raped and killed by the homeless men, who managed to not leave any DNA evidence themselves. Still, U.S. District Judge Emily Marks ordered a new trial, calling the DNA present at the scene, quote, powerful evidence that Barber's confession is false, end quote. The AG's office has 90 days to begin the new trial. Hudson Alpha Institute for Biotechnology in Huntsville has begun a study aimed at identifying potential dementia and Alzheimer's patients before they develop the maladies, reports AL.com's Scott Turner. Now, the hope here is to move toward prevention efforts rather than the current norm of treating patients once they're symptomatic. Researchers say these diseases begin years before patients show obvious signs of memory loss. The program's called Healthy Outcomes Through Phenomic Explorations for Alzheimer's Disease, or HOPE-AD. It's expected to last 12 to 15 months, and it's initially involving 200 volunteers from the Huntsville area between the ages of 65 and 75 who are at risk through their family medical history. They're going to look at biomarkers and data on diet, physical and mental exercise, and sleep habits. Hudson Alpha President Neil Lamb, quote, the type of diet, does it have a lot of sugar and processed foods? Or is it more whole grains and lower in fats? Are we actively keeping our brain healthy? Are we doing things like brain teasers, Sudoku, crosswords, online games around your brain? Are we getting the right amount of sleep? All of these things are habits. We want to be able to pair these individuals with lifestyle and health coaches to help them make those changes. Birmingham's weed emergency continues. No, I don't mean that kind of weed. I mean the unwanted kind that takes over a yard, especially if owners have decided to turn their lawns back over to Mother Nature. The Birmingham City Council voted Tuesday to extend an emergency declaration to October 10th. Now, that allows the mayor to suspend notice requirements for cutting weeds on neglected private property in the city. The city has around 15,000 tax delinquent lots that have overgrown vegetation. There's an expense to taking care of the blight. The latest budget includes $3 million for weed abatement. City work crews, as well as at least 18 lawn contractors, are ready to mow. It's become an issue this summer because of all the rain the area has seen. Anyone who cuts grass knows that it's been a busy summer. And our not-so-long national nightmare is over. The old timer on the Cracker Barrel logo is staying put, right next to his Cracker Barrel. After days of backlash over a redesign, the popular interstate exit chain reversed course on a previous decision to go with a simpler, flatter logo that was free from old country dudes and Cracker Barrels. It was the mediocre grits of restaurant logos. With the move, Cracker Barrel stepped or was pulled into the political culture wars. Now, was it a woke decision? Was it a scrubbing of something that reminds us of Granddaddy and who we were back home? Was it part of a cultural genocide against traditional American country folks? You might see how some folks are thin-skinned about such a possibility. Believe it or not, I've actually personally witnessed people expressing contempt for things rural and southern and country. I know that's hard to believe. But whether or not corporate types were embarrassed by a Cracker Barrel hero, they were. It was more likely that Cracker Barrel was choosing to grow its customer base the same way country music does, by changing itself to appeal to people who don't like it in the first place. After the decision to revert to the old logo, President Trump, famously a connoisseur of finer road food, congratulated Cracker Barrel on social media, and wished it well financially, certainly bringing us all together once again. Thanks for listening. We'll be back here in the morning. Until then, y'all come by and see what we're doing on the internet anytime you want to at al.com.